FlossTube. This is Tony, the floatless stitcher from New Zealand. Today it's about 3 p.m. on Thursday the 3rd of February, and I am paying a little bit of hooky off of work. Had a bit of a dodgy tummy earlier in the day, so I'm home. So you may end up on pause while I dash. That could happen. Might not. Hopefully not. I'm starting to feel a bit better, so I'm a celiac, so every so often the world goes a little bit wrong, and today was one of those days. Usually it's pretty good, but yeah, anyway, that's it. I get to have a bit of an afternoon off and a bit of a nap, and yeah. If you can hear weird noises in the background, it's the middle of summer here. I know most of you are freezing to death, but here it's the middle of summer. It's screaming hot, and for some reason it's going to rain at some stage today, so the flies are really bad, so I've had to close the house up and turn all the cooling on. Normally I'd prefer to have just airflow and what have you, but honestly the flies have been so bad it's ridiculous. They get real sticky when it's about to rain around here. So yeah, that's that. Probably more information than anybody required. So what have we been up to for the last month? Yeah, because it's been about 3-4 weeks since my last FlossTube. So what have we been up to? Not a great deal. We had a long weekend last weekend. We've got another long weekend coming up this weekend. Then we have nothing through to Easter. That will be our last long weekend till Easter, which is in April this year, so that's quite a long haul. Yeah, because we bought the house just before Christmas, we've pretty much not gone anywhere. We've got one of our children coming home tomorrow. She's coming home tomorrow with her family for the weekend because it's a long weekend, so yay. We haven't seen them since about October because COVID. Yeah, and also her partner works at a supermarket, and of course during Christmas you can't get time off if you work at a supermarket, so this will be our Christmas with them. But he just actually started a new job this week, and now he gets weekends off, so we will hopefully see more of them. We do try to get down and see them every so often, but again, COVID's put the kibosh on that quite a few times. Every time we've planned to go down there over the last year, we've had to go through too many red zones, and it's just too hard. But that's why we have the internet, and we have Zoom calls, and we have FaceTime, and we constantly talk, and it's all really good. So yeah, nothing to be negative about, just the way the life works at the moment. Yeah, what else have we been up to? Not really a great deal at all. Just hanging out, doing the things. Buying a house has left us kind of broke. We've got to re-roof this one, and there's loads of renovations that need doing to it, so yeah. Today we are in what was supposed to be the sports lounge, and I have now commandeered it as the stitching lounge. My husband will probably get it back in winter, but at the moment it's my space. It's got a big branch slider that comes off the side, so I can open it up and nobody can see me from the lounge, and it's a really good place to hide. So I've been really enjoying that. But yeah, there's honestly not been much going on, so it's just life. We had 2 weeks off, we went back to work. Feels like we never had time off. Normal stuff. So yeah, on with the stitching. This year I have decided to become a little bit more structured with my stitching to try and accomplish a few things. Up until discovery of FlossTube, I'd always been quite a monogamous stitcher. I'd never really stitched more than 1 or 2 projects at a time, and the only reason I would have another project come in was because I was doing the big full coverage ones, and sometimes you need to do a present for somebody, or sometimes you just need a break, so you do something small. But yeah, so this year I decided to get a little bit more structured, and yeah, so I've decided that Warm My Heart, because it's been ongoing since 2015, really needs to not be ongoing anymore. So I am doing 25/7 on her. I've given myself a couple of rules regarding her. If I don't do 25 one day, I have to do the 25 the next day, so because of the hours I work, sometimes it's not feasible or practical, or just I'm too tired. And it's 1/1 on 28 count, maybe 32, I don't know, 2015, I can't remember. Yeah, so she's getting work on her every day, but on the days where I don't work, I have to do a minimum of 300 stitches. The only other rule that I have is that regardless of whether I've reached my time limit or whether or not I have reached the, because it's 25 minutes, or if it's the weekend and it's 300 stitches, if I reach my 300 stitches, I have to finish that colour on the row that I am doing. So how I work on them is I work on a 10 block row, but I go over so that you don't get that grid lining thing. So if there's 17 stitches of that colour in a row, I will do the 17 stitches across and come back, and you get it coming in and out, and you don't tend to get that blocking that you do if you do it in little 10 by 10 squares. So yeah, and I just run straight down the page, and because I use the pattern keeper, it's more than a page that I'm stitching on at a time. Now, the reason that I did decide today was the day to do the FlossTube. Hello, Wednesday. Little bitty kitty. The reason is because I needed to move the hoop on her. So this is what she's going to look like. Warm My Heart by Selena Finich, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. She will be missing the bottom couple of rows because I can't count and cocked up the fabric. She's a little short by about 20 rows, I think. But this is as far as I got. So yeah, pretty much, sorry, this is going to be difficult. Pretty much all this here has been done this month. I actually have been keeping quite a good track on what I'm doing this year, and I got a grand total of 8,897 stitches in on her this year. So sorry, this month. So that was actually quite the achievement. So yeah, some good progress on that one. I'm quite pleased about that. Second thing I stitched on, yeah, so Warm My Heart, she's my focus piece for this year. I want to get her as close to finish as possible. She's got to get off that hoop. So my second focus piece was Cryptid Cell by the Witchy Stitcher, which everybody's doing, and yeah, so I made some good progress. I got quite behind doing some Christmas things that are still with the framer. They're not back yet, but yes, I got a bit behind on it. I got about 4 behind. I managed to catch up and then promptly got behind again. I managed to do 5,329 stitches on the Cryptid Cell. I've only got 3 more critters to go, and then it's all finished. It's being stitched on. I'm not taking it off the hoop. You'll have to see it as it is. She's being stitched on 28 count Lugana by Colour Plus in Australia. And Colour Plus? No, that's the actual colour people. Cascade Colour. God, I'm an idiot. So yeah, 28 count Lugana and Envy. Then I started doing, one of the things I purchased was the BNS, because Black Needle Society. I've only just managed to get to the top of the list and now get the boxes. So the boxes are going to start arriving probably within the next month. I've got 2 actually in transit at the moment. Hopefully one of them is going to turn up soon because I'm really excited. But yeah, anyway, I did purchase some of the bits and bobs from the boxes that I didn't get, and one of the things that I got, and it's one of the ways of motivating myself, is I got the challenge cards this year. And so what I'm doing with them is I'm drawing a card each week, and for the piece that matches in with that, I have to stitch 500 stitches. Now for the first two weeks of this, I was just, you have to stitch on it, whereas now I've made the decision it has to be 500 stitches. I can stop wherever I want after that, but it has to be 500 stitches, so I'm doing that every week. The downside of that has been that most of the cards that I've drawn so far have meant a new start, because I don't have anything that matches in with anything. It is what it is, but one of the things I have decided this year is I'm not purchasing too much new stuff as far as charts are concerned, though I have fallen down on that a little bit in buying the, I'll talk about that on the next one because I'm getting that one charted up, so I'll talk about that on my next FlossTube. But yeah, I have bought a chart. I've only bought one, hopefully outside of a couple of sales, the next Witchy Stitcher, the next Autumn Lane Stitchery one. Outside of that, I actually don't intend to buy any charts this year, so I am just using what I actually have in stock. I am allowing myself to buy fabric, and I am allowing myself to continue with my fabric of the month clubs, anything like that. You know, if I need anything for a chart, I am allowed to buy that, but I am just not allowed to buy any more charts, because technically I think I have enough to live to be 897 years old, and I must retain good eyesight, because most of those are 1/1 heaven and earth design ones, and I don't think I'm going to live that long for some reason. Anyway, so the first week, the card that I drew was Stitch on a Piece with a Bell. Now, this one, I actually had a piece that I was working on with a bell. It was My Apocalypse Princesses by Tess Fowler, and it's charted by Pain Free Crafts, and that's what it's going to look like. Now, Cinderella, and I don't know if you can see her down there, she actually has bells on her dress. So, yeah, that was a good thing. So I managed to put in, sorry, I am referring to my diary down here, and I'm not going to show you my diary because I'm changing a couple of things, but I will show you probably on the next FlossTube what I'm doing. So I managed to get 338 stitches in on this one. Actually, I might leave that page open because it's going to be a little bit of a cock up. Not the first cock up I've ever had, but it will be a little bit of a cock up. So that is what it's looking like right now, and I just basically filled in some bits and bobs down there. I had so much drama over the last year with not being able to count. I had 2 or 3 pieces that I miscalculated on so badly that my new thing is that I stitch around the outside on anything that I'm not, that I've had to specifically calculate, just to make sure it's going to fit, because I don't want to get to the end and find your feet aren't going to fit on it again. That is the dumbest thing ever, and after 30 years of stitching, I did it 3 times last year, so COVID's had its effect on me. But wait, there's more. This year's thing is I'm just not paying attention, apparently. So, the second week of January, the card I pulled was Stitch on a Piece with the word love in it. Now, I started a couple of years ago, I started something and it just didn't work out. It wasn't working out very well at all on Bumblebee, so I ended up flagging that. Now, the reason that I picked Bumblebee for this was because it is by a company, it's been chartered by a company called Love Thy Threads, so technically it met the brief, but I didn't have anything, or at least I thought I didn't have anything with the word love in the title, and immediately after the week had finished I just realised I have a sampler that I wanted to start called Self Love, which probably would have been a better plan. So this is what Bumblebee looks like anyway. Now, this is where I moroned again. This is supposed to be 1/1, so the whole lot's coming out, and I stitched something like 517 stitches on this, and the whole lot have to come out, and I'm halfway through taking them all out. So yeah, because it's supposed to be 1/1, not 2/1, so it's never going to fit. But that is on, again, a 28 Lugana by Colour Cascade, and the colour is Bitter Fruit. Okay. And yep, okay, the week after, sorry, there is a lot of weird pauses on this one. It is what it is. So the week after that, a lot of looking down too. The week after that, the one I did was Stitch on a Piece with a garden or a gnome. Now, I have signed up to, I don't have anything with a garden or a gnome, and I don't even have, short of pulling out one of my magazines or something, I don't have anything with a garden or a gnome. So what I actually did, because I've signed up for, if I can find it, what's that? Oh, that one. That What Does Not Kill You by Urban Stitches sale, and I'm doing this on a 35 count Edinburgh linen, and it's actually black work, and so far only the frame has been released. I think the rest of it's actually due out technically today for me because it's on the 4th, but that means it's on the 5th because nobody else lives in the 4th. So that's how far I got I'm really loving that. I've never done any black work before a day in my life. How many stitches did I get on that one? 502. So yeah, so I'm just going to pop that back in the what's-it, because I will lose the what's-it. Not the first time I've lost a what's-it. I am really enjoying that one though, and can't wait to pick it back up again. I think David, Mad Morty's husband, I think he's doing it too, so that's really cool. It's not very often you see a bloke doing black work, so it's actually quite good. Then the final week, I had to do a piece with a clock. I don't have a piece with a clock, so that was a new start again. And this one has been in my stitching thing since 2012. So I picked the Heaven and Earth Designs artwork by Jasmine Beckett Griffith, Alice in Clockwork. Hopefully she shows. Yes, she does. And dropping things. That's as far as I got. I'm stitching this on a 32 count Lugana, I think. Yeah, pretty sure it's a 32 count. Yeah, 32 count Lugana. It's actually in Silver Moon, but it was just a piece that I picked up at a random sale, so as long as it fits. And I got 508 stitches in on that one. So that was those. And I did one other piece, but it was pre-picking up the cards. I started Even Nora. And how many stitches did I get in on her? I got 218 stitches in on her. And I'm going to go with That Way Up because I can't freaking remember. So I'm going to call it That Way Up. So yeah, that's as far as I got. It's not a massive start on that one, or at least it doesn't show a massive amount because it's like that. But I love that one. I really can't wait to get that one finished and framed. I'm going to pop that one into, I'm going to see if I can get like a cameo type frame, because she sort of reminds me of the old-fashioned cameos. So yeah, I want to pop her in a cameo. Right, so from there we go to haul. Now I finally had a few bits and bobs come in. I am a member of the Lakeside Needlecraft Fabric of the Month Club. Was by month, but now it's Fabric of the Month, and I'm getting a 32 count even weave, and this one was called Pomegranate, and it's printed fabric. I've never used printed fabric. It's the first time I picked it up. So that's what it looks like. It's actually quite funky. I can sort of see something a little interesting going on there. I've got a couple of pieces that might go pretty cool on that, just because it's kind of blood splattery without being blood splattery, so I can see a couple of Halloween pieces going on that, but we'll wait and see. Then I ordered, I've been a member of the Colour Cascade Fabric of the Month Club for 6 months, and in that 6 months I had received one of the fabrics. I love the fabrics, they're absolutely beautiful, but the waiting period has just gotten out of hand and it's all very confusing, and I've received the fabric twice but not received the month after, and it's just, so I've actually pulled the pin on it because it's making me feel anxious, because it's just not turning up, and I've lost track of where I'm at with it, and it's all done through PayPal instead of the website, so it's harder to track because you don't get any confirmations on when stuff's shipped or things, and it's just, yeah. But anyway, I had a bunch of them arrive just yesterday. Now this one is the September one, and it was Jade, and this was the 28 count Lugana. It's quite pretty. It's actually lovely. It really is lovely. It's showing, actually it's showing pretty true, but you can see there's some nice variegation in there. Yeah, It is a lovely fabric. Now, randomly, because fabric of the month is a surprise, I actually picked up this one, which is a 32 count Belfast, on 10 off Fridays, which she does do, and they arrive pretty promptly, to be fair. But I picked up, it turns out it's exactly the same colour, but it's on a 32 count linen, and that is spectacular. As we all know, Lugana doesn't quite dye up as well as linen, but yeah, look at that. It's come up absolutely spectacular. That's actually showing a lot more darker on the black. The teal's not showing through quite so well, but yeah, so that was exactly the same colour. Then this one arrived, which was, sorry for all the crinkling, actually I'm not crinkled. I know some people it drives them batty, but I actually like the sound of crinkle. So this is a 32 count Belfast, and I think this was also a 10 off Tuesday, 10 off Friday. And the colour for this one, what was it called? Lavender blue. And yeah, I'd gone to getting Luganas because of all my full coverage pieces. I just find that for me, it is a personal thing, and we all know how personal we all get with our fabrics and things. For me, I find that when I'm working on something like a Heaven and Earth with a full coverage piece, it's the even weave, it's a little bit more rigid. You don't get the highs and lows on the thread counts and stuff. You don't get the thick pieces and the thin pieces so much. So I find that I've gone to a Lugana, and I'd done so many over the last few years. I'd stopped buying linen and stuff. So that's when I started with the Fabric of the Month clubs last year. I just kept going with the Luganas, but I don't use the good fabric, the pretty fabric for the Heaven and Earth designs, because why would you cover all that up? You use it for your beautiful pieces. So I'm going back to getting my 32, my 35, my 40 count linens. So yeah, this one here, I must have picked this one up on a, oh no, I got July twice. That's right, I forgot about that. I don't think I've had November, so somehow I've wound up with July twice and no November. And this was in the Stormbringer, and it's in the 32 count again, and I literally got this on the 28 count. But this is, honestly, it's come up beautiful again. It is a beautiful piece, and it's a beautiful colour. So I'm not going to be sad, and I'm not going to complain. I'm going to Chris it up and smile and wave. Then this arrived. Now, I don't know if anybody has seen my last box, but Colour Cascade do mystery boxes, and I got the mystery box, the Halloween one, last year, and it finally arrived in November. And it arrived in a plastic bag, no box, and it looked like a whole pile of leftover stuff that had been jammed into a bag, like it was an afterthought, and I was very disappointed in the box itself. This one is a whole different kettle of fish. It's actually arrived in a box with an actual sticker saying what it is, which again makes me think that I was actually forgotten last time, and then she just jammed a whole pile of things in together. But this box is different. This has got some fun stuff in it. So when you open up the box, first thing I found, and this is a random colour for me, is I have a cone, not a cone of doom. I have a cone of 747. Randomly, I actually do use this colour a lot. It comes up in a lot of pieces, so it was quite a surprise getting a cone of that. Because I said to my husband not that long ago, next time I get a piece that calls for more than 5 or 6 skeins, I'm actually just going to buy a cone, because I keep about 5, I buy them in lots of 5, but if I'm going to get more than 5 or 6, then I might as well buy a cone. I already have a cone of doom, but yeah, that's a whole different kettle of fish. Then I got, sorry, I might have to put my glasses on for a bit of this because my eyes are very old and they can't see a dang thing. Got 2 little of those things, variegated threads. So yeah, I've never used that stuff before. So I've got a number 16, which I think is the thread size. Yeah. Oh, okay, there's the colours. I've got 237 is the pink and the orange is 928. So yeah, I will use them somewhere. They're actually a bit interesting and I'm sure I can find something to put them in. Then I got 3 of the DMC Jewel Effects. I got 211. I got 316. And I got 155. Now this stuff feels like it's going to be absolute shit to deal with. Actually, it doesn't feel, I don't know. It's going to be better than acrylic, but we'll find out. I've got the cutest. Oh, I don't know if I told you. This one was called Fantasy Mystery Box. So yeah, it was all witches and mermaids and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, I got the needle minder, a little fishy tail, and a fishy button. So they're quite cute. Gorgeous little scissors. And the light effects colouring that's coming through and everything. And it's a little unicorn. You can never have too many of those. Then we got to some fabric. Oh, that's right, I had more fabric arrived, didn't I? Yeah, I threw some fabric in here that I shouldn't have. So those go there, that goes there, that goes there, that goes there. Okay, so it was these fabrics that came with the box. I'm just going to move. Oh, I'm such a mess. Honestly, I'm so sorry. I'm actually not. This is who I am. So yeah, these 2 fabrics came with the box. Now they're both 32 count Belfast. This one is called Misty Mountain Hop. Now check out how beautiful this purple is. I'm not really a purple person, to be honest, but that is coming up crap on your end. But yeah, take my word for it. It's showing a little more pink than it is in the purple, but it is beautiful. It's a nice big piece too. You've seen me using that on lots of things, especially with all the grandbabies starting to come through. And there was also a second piece, which is called My Island Home. Now I think out of all the fabrics that arrived, this might be my favourite. And you can hardly see it. It is an absolutely stunning, almost turquoisey blue. Almost. It is absolutely beautiful. It's incredibly bright and vibrant. Honestly, it's absolutely stunning. Yeah, there's not enough I can say about that one. And then with that box came 2 patterns. The first one is Gurindola, and it's a Joan Elliott design. Yeah, so there's that one there, which, yeah, it's not really my cup of tea, but it's pretty. And I really like this one, Nocturne, which is really random because, and by random, I mean I've actually got one that's been on my to stitch list for since 2008 and I haven't even started it yet, and it's a Heaven and Earth design called Nocturne, and it's a woman standing in a wheat field with a violin, and I've been wanting to stitch that for myself for so long, and I've gotten the fabric 3 times and I've used the fabric on different things 3 times, and one day soon I am actually going to stitch the damn thing. But I really like this one too, and it has got the same name. And I love the fact that, like, if you have a look on there, they've actually changed it up a little bit, and the fact that they've used a different colour on that one. It's the same pattern, they've just changed the colours to give you a couple of different options there. So that's what came in the box. And then I had some more fabric turn up. This one, 32 count Belfast. I think this was actually, I can't remember. Oh no, this was, again, this was 10 off Tuesday. She does 10 off Tuesday, 10 off, Stitchy Ferret does $10 Tuesdays. They do 10 off, which is just 10% off, and it has to be, it's just a specific color choice, and it has the fabric count that you want has to be in stock. So this was the Blue Moon, and again, absolutely stunning, absolutely beautiful blue. I'll add that to the pile. And this was the October one, which is Islands of Avalon. It's a lovely powder blue. Again, we're doing a 28 count Lagana on this one. It's quite a pale blue, but something nice and vibrant would look brilliant on that one. This was the August colour, which was Gold Digger Old Map style. And I really like this one. I love how mottled that is. It's got so much character. I really, really, really like that one. Right, so that was those two. And then we go to the December one, which was a 32 counts. There's so much fabric arrive, it's ridiculous. I never buy fabric and I never have it turn up. I'm literally, so this was a December one, and it doesn't have a name. Just fabric of the month. Mystery fabric, fabric of the month. 32 counts. And it's quite a beautiful dark blue. Not sure what we're going to use that on, but then do we ever know what we're going to use these things on when we get them? It's about having them. It's about having them and being to start the things when you're ready to start the things. So that's all my haul. I've got, well, my haul that's arrived. I've got, so I've dropped the Colour Cascades fabric of the month. I will still buy fabric from her, don't get me wrong. I just got frustrated with my, as you can tell, all this stuff has arrived since December, and as you know, all this stuff arrived since my last FlossTube. All that fabric arrived since my last FlossTube, so that's how backed up it was. And I know she had fabric because I would email her and say, hey, what's happening? It's been 3-4 months, and she'd say, oh, I'm just cutting it out, and it still wouldn't turn up, and that just frustrated me. So yeah, so I stopped getting the Colour Cascade fabric of the month, started getting the Lakeside one because that's a bit different, and I started getting the Romantics Club from Fortnight Fabrics. Probably will only do a year of that. Now the reason behind that has got nothing to do with the boys at all, because they're absolutely fabulous boys and I love watching their FlossTube, but the reason would be, by the time the postage and packaging is taken into account, it's costing me $80 for, and it's not the biggest piece. It's one of the medium size. I think I've got medium size, and I'm in the Romantics Club though, so I'm going to do that for a year and we'll see where we wind up. The Lakeside one, I think cost me $38 for that size piece, but it'll just, as I've said before, getting stuff in New Zealand's difficult. It's a tricky thing. So it's nice to just have stuff so that you can go, I want to do this today, and you can pick it out and you can just start, as I have done with a lot of these things. Luckily, when it comes to just your ordinary fabrics, I tend to use a company down in Christchurch here in New Zealand, and Elizabeth cuts my pieces, she overlocks them for me and she sends them off, and I have them within 3 or 4 days of me deciding if I want to do something with a plainer fabric. But this gives me options, and I'm very excited about it. So that's all my haul and stuff. What else? Who have I been watching? Just the usual. Mad Morty, as per usual. Her and David are just wonderful, and I've been watching Chris, and I watched Darcy the other day. Linda hasn't put out anything. Linda and her 144 hobbies hasn't put out anything for a few weeks. I hope she's doing okay. Might reach out to her later on today and just give her a nudge and see if she's okay, because she used to be as regular as clockwork and now she's just disappeared. But she did say that she's lost her stitchy bug and was knitting a lot lately, and that happens to the best of us sometimes. So yeah, yeah, like everybody else around here, I am joining the Chris movement with the Chris It Up philosophy for this year, and it couldn't have come at a better time because my work is very difficult at the moment, and everybody's complaining and everybody's angry and everybody's finding it very difficult to find the positive in anything right now, and I'm finding that quite frustrating to go to work and come home from, because I don't want to live like that. I know it is what it is. We have two options when it comes to our work not working right. We can stay or we can go. And at this moment in time, I'm willing to give them the benefit of the doubt and to wait it out and see what happens next, and maybe, just maybe, it'll all work out for the best, and maybe it won't. And if it doesn't, I'll cross that bridge when that bridge comes along. But at this moment in time, I'd like to give them a little bit more time to find their feet with us as much as we're trying to find our feet with them, because they're new owners. Sorry, probably should have said that. And it's only 4 months and they're putting their changes in place, and we just have to roll with it, really. So for that, I am trying to Chris It Up. And I just think that is such a wonderful movement, with all the negativity that's out there right now, and all the anger and all the self-centeredness that's running around, and all the people with their me firsts and all that sort of stuff, to stop and go, it is what it is. Don't get bent out of shape about the stuff you can't change. Don't get upset if you can't get all the stitches in, or you can't finish that project that you thought you would finish on time, or if something doesn't go right today, because not everything's going to go right every day. There are going to be days where you wonder what the heck. But look at the positives. There's always something positive to look at. So that is such a cool movement, and I think we all need to do that more. Yeah, so apart from that, there's not really been, like I said, not really a lot going on. I'm quietly sending us broke with fabric, apparently. But yeah, plans for next month to continue doing basically what I'm doing. I had a few days where I had 0 counts on my stitching. I hope to actually get my 25/7 to be working on it being an actual 25/7 thing, instead of 25 3 times in a row 3 days down the track. But who knows. I'd like to get cryptids finished. Hopefully I can show you that. If I can't show you that, I'll show you a picture of what it's supposed to look like, because it will be at the framers. Continuing with the cards, with the challenge cards. I'm actually enjoying that. It's giving me just that little bit more focus of something else. So yeah, this week's card is gold. This week's card, and it's a February card, obviously. So this week's card is a piece with a bird on it. I don't have a piece with a bird on it. But I do have a piece called Witching Hour, and it's a Nora Corbett, and it's got an owl on a stand. So I'm going to actually start that this week, possibly in about half an hour. And I get my 500 stitches in on that. After Cryptid's finished, I want to go back to doing my Mythical Creatures cell, which is all finished. It was the 2020 cell from Pain Free Crafts. This is a completely crap picture of it. I am on I. So I want to make that my secondary focus piece after Cryptids is finished. I also want to start the 2022 Pain Free Crafts Wind in the Willows stitch along. Whether or not that actually becomes a thing this month, I don't know. Make some more progress on. I want to do all the things. I want to stitch all the things. I want to retire and stitch all the things. I don't think my husband's going to let me. Apparently we like eating. I don't know what he's talking about. Yeah. I'm sure we all have that problem. Anyway, I'm just waffling now. I really am just waffling now. So I'm going to go. I have loads of stitching to do. So you guys all look after yourselves. I don't think I'm going to edit this. I think I'm just going to let it roll. There's probably going to be a whole pile of people out there that absolutely hate it, and I'm sorry about that, but I am who I am, and I can't change me now. I'm 50 years old. I'm too old to change. This is what you get. So you guys all look after yourselves, and I'll see you in a few weeks.